Hi, I'm on the Sabrina Explains It All TV show. Um, I'm getting fiber internet and fiber electricity and fiber internet TV. I'm pretty excited, but right now I'm only doing fiber internet. I'll do fiber internet TV later, plus fiber electricity later. But I am currently doing it, but I'm not going to pay for it right now. Am able only to pay for fiber internet. So I want to go off to explain that fiber internet is pretty cool. It's like quicker, faster. Everything's super tiny, super incredibly tiny. That takes a fiber internet to find my mom, even to find me, even. But so I want to go off to explain that fiber internet is pretty easy. All you have to do is put a fiberglass technology all over the United States. And I made the electricity, fiber internet, like fiber electricity, faster and quicker and more powerful than fiber regular electricity and regular internet. Um, the fiber electricity is way quicker. It snaps, doesn't snap, but it's like quicker, faster, more jolt, and more powerful, about 300 times more powerful than regular electricity. Fiber electricity is actually better for your health than regular electricity. It's actually you can't find them very well, but if they're really tiny like fiberglass, then you'll be able to find it really fast. So my phone does have fiber internet and fiber television and fiber everything on it hooked to my phone. So even the internet, so I have really good internet. Um, so if you're out there and you need something like this, go to centurylink.com/support or centurylink.com and be able to find, you'll be able to change what century you're in. One time at the year, well, actually earlier part of this year, I changed the century. I changed the century to 2600 century. It was actually pretty cool how I did it. I went to my original calendar they made for me at the beginning of time, which is the horoscope calendar, and change the century. I might get eaten alive by telling David Woods this and everybody this, plus the family friend Danny chopping vegetables. So let's hope I don't get chopped up to death over telling you this in the good news. So the century was 2600, and when people change the time and date and everything, there's like this time warp where everything's going backwards. That Paul Anthony Wisdom did to make everyone turn back and fix mistakes, fix health problems, and fix death even. So with that, you want to be able to switch it all around and get a normal clock like this. This is a real diamond and gold, red gold and pink gold um, watch that I got from the original person from China, which is Shiny Crandall. It's actually pretty hard to find unless you have fiber internet or fiber electricity. It's actually pretty hard to find. And now that I mention him, you'll probably see him on YouTube. He is in YouTube channel and YouTube movies, and actually, it's pretty hard to find. He always hides out a lot. He was in Audi not too long ago by the transfer, and he drives a pretty fast car too to get away. um, he actually drives late at night. Um, this person, China, I could not believe all those people had to take care of this person named China Crandall um, for the original account holder for China. But for me, it's even bigger because my world gets bigger and bigger. They made it smaller for me to deal with the sanity problems because my world was so huge. Because I have hypothyroidism. Um, so hypothyroidism I have is was a mixed diagnosis from mental health issues, but hypothyroidism does cause mental health problems if you're not taking good care of your thyroid, which is a woman hormone that I have to deal with all the time. So if I don't take my uh, hormone medication that I could get unbalanced to get super mad at you and actually get pretty loud. So with that well in mind, I want to go off to explain the century where it changes century from like 20 from like 2022 to 2600 to get past time. I was able to stay at a hotel longer than I was supposed to by changing the century and able to take care of my health problems that way. They did actually take me back when I said I was back. Um, Also, I need to go to the bathroom a lot when I change the century. The like the toilet broke. I'm like, what the heck? I still have running water, electricity, and everything else, but the toilet broke. Um, the septic tank, the sewer system was down in the year 2600. So I want to switch the time to 2700. I electronically switched the time to 2600 and never changed it back. So we are still at the year century at 2600 and never switched it back on the original horoscope calendar, which is hard to find that calendar on the internet unless you have fiber internet from fiber electricity. And it's actually pretty expensive because I am actually pretty expensive because due to the electricity and all the everybody following, which I don't like really. I really don't like it. It's very hard on me. It like bothers me a lot. It like just causes me mental anguish. Not the technology, but the people who follow me. Really does. Especially when they follow my thinking. It really does bother me because my thinking gets exposed a lot. Being followed a lot. I get a lot of pain and suffering a lot like that. Because I have to deal with a lot of pain and suffering mentally with this hypothyroidism because my world's so huge. Um, they did help with my making my world a lot smaller than what I was dealing with when I was at work. I had no customers. My world was so huge. No one was able to find me except my mom. My world was so huge. No one talked to me. No one asked me any questions. No one came to visit except my mom and some of the cap office. Um, so my job was the CEO of Worlds of Universes of Galaxies and Eternities and Heavens. That was my job. But my job right now is Galaxies 2, where I take care of two galaxies and have to feed everyone so they don't cause a coronavirus. Um, so everyone does get fed by magical means of grocery store. So if you go to your local grocery store, your food bank, you do get food. So if you're able to go to the food bank and get a ride, you'll be good to go. You'll have the meal for that day and you'll be fine until your cash comes in, until you get paid. And actually, I'm the original account holder for the cash with Johnny Cash. I do rely on Johnny Cash a lot to get the cash because his last name is Cash. Also, the president's on the money is actually a way to put on the presidents of why they didn't pay for us and why they're still alive and hiding out a lot. um, so it's kind of hard to deal with that. Really hard. They changed where Abraham Lincoln is located, where I put him. So it's a confidential where they put Abraham Lincoln because they had to switch his spot from under the ocean to somewhere else. Because he really was hiding out from everyone because he could get eaten alive or shot to death. Um, so by me telling the good news, stuff like that could happen to me. Like someone could take a knife that my brother was using to stab me to death while I'm asleep or something, or like chop me to death when they're cooking. So that is scary. That's pretty scary. Um, so I want to talk about health problems. Health problems happens when our hormones is out of balance and we don't deal with stress. Stress happens because of depression, and depression happens because no one checks up on us. No one checks up on us that I do have depression and hormone issues. So hormone issues is a problem from trauma. Stress, stress is infectious. Stress goes from one person to the next. Stress like transfers over and like people blow up out of stress. They like outbursts like Tourette syndrome. Like Tourette's, like people who blurt out stuff. When people get stressed out, they actually do in fact get Tourette's. Like that one movie. They really do. I'm serious. Tourette's. That's actually a pretty funny movie. But they actually do that. It's pretty serious and actually um, they should probably get checked out, maybe a full checkup, like a bunch of tests and stuff. Like the incredible shrinking woman lady had a bunch of tests to see what was wrong with her. And what was wrong with her? She used too much chemicals in her products. No health foods, no cutting down on chemical use. Too much shampoo, too much dish soap, too much of chemical-y stuff, even in food and stuff like that. It's just really gross. Um, so I want to go off to explain. Oh, did you find it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have to get another one, but I need that box and the green cord. It's like a green telephone cord. Because if you hook it up by the old telephone by the water in the kitchen and find the cord, we'll have the internet. But anyways, we're actually looking for the internet's cord, but we found the box, but we need the internet cord, the green internet cord. So right now I want to go off to explain a lot of stuff pertaining to people who actually do marijuana. Marijuana is actually a weed of the grass. Those little leaves, the little round leaves in the grass. Those regular weeds. That's marijuana. They do that plant so much they jump into it. It's just really gross. It makes people sick. People throw up. They throw up in the morning. So Hoquiam actually got rid of all the weeds of the grass because it's just really gross to jump into it and get really sick in the morning when you wake up because you didn't smoke weed. Um, it is really gross to jump into it too. So I want to go off to explain also um, the fact that get your facts straight. Get your facts straight when you speak, when you talk, when you think even when you think, you affect people by what you think. So if you're stupidly thinking stinking, you'll affect the other people with this make stuff real by incredibly stupid stinking thinking. So I'm gonna do something about that. I'm gonna obsolete a lot of stupidity, stinking thinking from infecting others right now. Because I'm getting tired when someone thinks something stupid. They ruin everyone's lives. They ruin a lot of people's lives by incredibly stupid, stinking thinking. When they think something stupid, they ruin a lot of stuff, like incredibly a lot of stuff. Because I made the rule. So I'm gonna right now cut and obsolete it. The fact of that will no longer happen to a lot of people. Because I'm getting tired when someone thinks something really small, really incredibly dumb and stupid to the point they ruin a lot of people's lives. So let's try to. I'm changing that right now, and so things should get better from here on to like cut that rule. And my room rules still are in effect. My room rules I wrote down, and when everyone takes a step, they're actually stepping on my room rules. I made a lot of cards at the year 2021 to, if you want to stay with me, I have a lot of rules and you must abide. Otherwise, I move out. So if you don't abide, I actually do move out. And I actually do something about my situation. I should write in my one of my room rules, no pests. I'm probably gonna write it down after this video that there's no pests allowed in a home for me to live at. No cockroaches, no rats, no mice, nothing. No, it has to be clean, no rodents. No pests, no dogs, even cats. Nothing. Nothing. No anything. No birds. No. As they all have to be outside, the birds, but you know, no pests allowed. No pestism. No pet peeves even. No pests allowed. So I gotta write that down on one of my cards. The stepping cards that the cards make real and make it real for me to have these happen. But the only thing bothering me right now is the rats. So I have to make one of these real for myself in order to get rid of the rats and for someone to pay for them to be executed from the home and to die and to go away, like we did to the roaches. The roaches are no longer here. They were here when I was a little girl, but they are no longer here. But the rats, I don't like the fact that the cops did kind of curse his home by saying they're river rats. When they weren't, they were just regular rats. So I don't like the fact that when the police get bossy, they think they could be abusive and celebrate abuse. So that's kind of cruel. And actually, I have to cut the cruelty of the police off with their dicks because of the fact that I get very furious with the police when they do something wrong. They think they can be abusive and cover for themselves like they've never made a mistake in their whole entire life since existence. So let's try to cut that off. And plus, rotten eggs is gross. So I want to go off to explain. Also, I do explain a lot. I do talk a lot when people ask me a question, when I deal with a lot of stress. I talk it out a lot, and people do understand me because they go through a lot of mental health issues. Because a lot of people really do have hypothyroidism they're not taken care of. And a lot of people do have mental health problems because they have hypothyroidism, low energy, they don't do the right thing all the time, they cuss a lot, they constantly ruin other people's relationships. So let's try to cut that off with the pair of scissors. But no abuse, no celebrating abuse, no no talking about other people, no gossip is allowed. There was one time earlier part of this year where I sent each person's gossip to their room. So when they got to the room, they heard a bunch of voices of what they said, and they're talking to their own gossip room, gossip problems. So when that happened, a lot of people left me alone and let me be and let me stay in peace, but a lot of gossiping. We didn't come real until later, until I left the place. But I want to go off to explain that not everyone actually uh, gossips. So they were actually accepted into Sabrina and Aliyah land. I was able to go to the store and get exactly what I need and not too much and what I don't need. When I get stuff I don't need, I actually spend a lot of money. I don't like getting stuff I don't need. I never eat it because I can't eat that much. Because actually, I don't know why I just don't eat that much. I lose a lot of weight when I sleep. Um, so I'm getting skinnier. And so when I actually go about explaining on this TV show, Sabrina Explains It All, ask me questions. Ask me questions of what you think about what you want to ask first before you ask a question. Don't take too long asking because I could go off to go explain it to someone else. The issues with relationship stuff with the planet and also the galaxy and also other stuff. So if you're out there, you're not taking care of the planet and you're actually abusing it, the earth does eat. So it might as well just eat you, whoever is abusing it. So if you're out there abusing the earth, don't. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Avoid Nike at all costs. Avoid Nike, just don't do it. Because if you're not taking care of the earth, and the earth will come after you and eat you up for dinner and breakfast, lunch, and dinner until you're really small, little, and actually, just little. So take care of it. Take care of your own planet out there, wherever you are at. My phone does reach a lot of people to other galaxies, and it's very reachable towards other planets. So if you're out there watching my video, I want to say peace towards you. And also, the sign language for peace is the number two, because two people need to be involved to create peace uh, and harmony for the galaxies, which I take care of now, which is only two. I don't know what I did to make it smaller, but or what they did to take some of that and actually lighten my load because I had a lot on my plate to deal with all these galaxies and heavens to deal with, especially after Heaven's War movie. Galaxy, if you're out there, um, Guardian of the Galaxy, just remember we do laugh about a lot of stuff here. Uh, I was laughing for no reason over a lot of stuff, and so does the other people here, like Danny and JoJo and everyone. We laugh for no reason because it's like too stressing to deal with a lot of stuff like that. Because a lot of people are hard to take care of, and not everyone deserves to die. So if we don't deserve to die, the earth and other people will do everything they can to save us. For real, I'm not kidding around. Especially when we are suffering from depression, we are starting to die. Someone needs to step up and actually talk to me, actually say something to me, ask me a question or something, not just get and take from me. That's the number one rule. No takeism allowed. That's the number one rule. No takeism allowed. So child molestation and cockism and also child abuse has been canceled out of the galaxies and most of the other parts of the galaxies. Um, so no one sexual part being number one. That's not a lot anymore. That's just really gross to do that. It actually gross to even think about because it's just gross. So if you're out there, child molestation, rape, and other forms of abuse are not allowed anymore. And part of my room rules is I do state out my room rules on paper. So if you're out there and you read them and you threw them away, tough on you because the galaxies will never know what they are. And I probably will rewrite them all or have them show pop in my room sometime. So I'm going to also talk about people stealing. Around here, I suffer from a lot of kleptos stealing my stuff, a lot of kleptoism. So I might as well say no kleptoism allowed. I get all my stuff taken from my clothes, my brand new clothes, old clothes, my underwear, my socks and underwear, even. Just the audacity of people going after stuff where they think is precious and glorious because of the good news I told on YouTube. And the things that they'll do to praise other people to like get something from them. Just feed them. Just like feed them something to eat. They're just probably hungry and need a multivitamin and like low on blood sugar. But if they're diabetic, you might want to give them a diet pop and some oranges so they'll get some kind of energy and get their sugar the natural way. But if they have too much sugar, feed them some vegetables and protein and also a glass of super cold ice water from the freezer. If you could do that, they'll quench their thirst and their hunger, and they should be good to go. They'll be content, happy, and actually feed them future food too. Make sure they have future food there with them so that they could deal with hunger and hunger problems, and make sure they don't get mad with hunger problems. Because a lot of people get mad because they're hungry. So if you're hungry out there and you didn't eat, actually figure it out and actually go get your food stamp card because everyone's supposed to get like $5,000 since birth on the day of your birth for food stamps and $5,000 for cash for cash assistance, not at the DSHS office, but in general. I hate relying on the president because the president gives most of it away. So you might as well go through me, I guess, because whatever I state, the people will get. So I'm gonna say that $5,000 everyone gets plus cash, checking cash, and then $5,000 in food stamps since birth. So there's a lot of back pay there for everyone who was ever born. So if you're born like 1979 and we're at the year 5600 or 2600 or something like that, you might as well get a lot of cash back. So if you want to do something, do the words cash back because you need a lot of cash back for back pay. So think about the words constantly and do the words cash back. Thank you.